Yo, yo, yo! Peace! What's going on, guys? Welcome to a wonderful Wednesday. We got 3 more video lessons and we're done for the year. So, that's good news. So for today, guys, as I said yesterday, I'm going to go over 2-step equations today. And then your assignment is to do numbers 6 through 10 on the worksheet that I posted yesterday. So let's fix these windows and get rolling. All right, so quick review. 1-step equations from yesterday. It takes 1 step to solve them, hence the name. So 1-step equations. Remember, in order to solve a 1-step equation, you have to do one of 4 things, either add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So whatever is with our variable, x plus 3 equals 7, remember the goal is to get x by itself on one side of the equal sign. So if there is anything with x, in this case a positive 3, we do the opposite to get rid of it. We subtract 3. That cancels out, and I'm left with x by itself. However, the golden rule of algebra says, well, if you do something on one side of the equal sign, you've got to do the same thing on the other side in order to keep balance, because just like life, math is about balance. So I subtracted 3 on this side. I need to subtract 3 on that side of the equal sign, and I end up with 4. All right? Pretty basic. Pretty simple. So now today we're going to do 2-step equations. And guess how many steps are required to solve a 2-step equation? 3. No, 2. So I'm checking on the dog who is, oh, he's just tearing up the carpet. That's always good. The joys of having a puppy. All right, 2-step equations. Here's what you need to know. In a 2-step equation, you are going to have, obviously, 2 steps. One of those 2 steps is going to be an add or subtract step, and then the other is going to be a multiply or divide step. So you're going to have one of these and one of these. That's your 2 steps. Okay? So let me give you an example. Let's go 2x plus 3 equals 9. Okay? So, remember, our logic and our goal is the same as a 1-step equation. With any equation, I want x by itself. So here's my x. And here's the equal sign here. Well, I have a couple of things with x on x's side of the equal sign, if you will. I've got a plus 3 here. And I've got times 2 here, right? So here's my add subtract part. Here's my multiply divide part. So it happens to be I have a positive 3 and a times 2. When you solve a 2-step equation, you always do the add subtract part first. Always, okay? So here's my add subtract part right here, plus 3. I need to do the opposite in order to get rid of it because I need x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3. So 3 minus 3 cancels out and gives me nothing. Now I haven't done anything with the 2 times part yet, so I'm just going to bring that down. 2 times, or 2x, equals, and then I have 9, but don't forget I subtracted 3 on this side, so I'm going to have to subtract 3 on the other side as well. So minus 3, that leaves me 6. So that was step 1 of our 2-step equation. Now I'm left with just a 1-step equation, which we did yesterday, because my remaining part here is 2 times x equals 6. How do I get rid of the times 2 part? Because I want x by itself. We do the opposite of times 2. We divide by 2. So don't forget that fraction bar also means divide, right? So it's 2 divided by 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1, which leaves me with just 1x, which is just x. Easy enough. And then since I divided 2 by 2 on this side of the equal sign, over here I have to divide by 2 also. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that was step 2, and that gives us our final answer of x equals 3. Okay? So, pretty simple. Let's do another example. Let's do with subtracting and dividing, all right? So let's say I have x divided by 3 minus 2 equals 2. All right? So here's my x. I need to get it by itself, which means I got to get rid of the minus 2 and I've got to get rid of the divided by 3. Now remember what I just said. You always, always, always do the add subtract part first. That's always your first step. That's the minus 2. So I need to do the opposite of minus 2, which is plus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 cancels. X divided by 3, I haven't done anything with that yet, so I'm just going to bring that down because it stays the same. This is canceled out. My equal sign can come down. Now I added 2 on this side. I have to do the same on the other side of the equal sign. So 2 plus 2 equals 4. So there's step 1. I got rid of the add subtract part. Now I'm left with x divided by 3 equals 4. So I need to get rid of the divided by 3 part. So we do the opposite. What's the opposite of divided by 3? Times 3. So I'm going to multiply this times 3. What that does, it cancels out the 3's and leaves me with x. Now I do the same thing on the other side of the equal sign. 4 times 3 equals 12. Now if I go back to my original equation, this was minus 2, right? Let's substitute 12 for x and see if we're right. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 minus 2 equals 2. So there you go. Worked perfectly. Okay, let's try this. 4 equals negative 2 plus, actually, you know what, let's make this positive 2 plus, no, negative 2. I'll get it right. Negative 2 plus 3x. Well, you look at that and you're like, well, wait, it doesn't look right. It's fine. It's just written kind of backwards. So in this case, my x is over here on the right side of the equal sign, but it doesn't matter. Remember, the goal is to get x by itself on either side of the equal sign. It doesn't have to be on the left. It can be on the right. In this case, it was written so that x is on the right. Fine. We're still going to do the same thing. We're going to do our two-step equation and get rid of everything that's with x so I can get it by itself. So first thing I have to do is get rid of the add subtract part. Here is the add subtract part right here. Not this. This plus sign is just telling us that 3x is positive. This is the plus minus part I got to get rid of. So I have this negative 2. How do I get rid of it? I add 2. Cancels out. And then I add 2 on the other side of the equal sign. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Equal sign comes down, and I'm still left with 3x. I don't need to bring the plus sign down because the way math is that, you know, if it's just a number, it's assumed to be positive unless there was a negative sign there. So this is positive 3. I don't have to put a plus 3 in front of it to say it's positive 3. Okay? So 3 times x. How do I get rid of the 3 times part? Divide by 3. That cancels out and leaves x by itself. I've got the equal sign brings down. I divide this side by 3 as well because I want to do the same, keep balance. If I do it on one side of the equal sign, make sure I do it on the other. And that leaves me with 2. All right? So guys, that's it for two-step equations. It's pretty simple. Don't let the order in which it is written throw you off. Your goal is the same. Get x by itself on one side of the equal sign. If it's on the right side of the equal sign, that's fine. If it's on the left side of the equal sign, that's still okay. We just want to get it by itself. Whatever's with it, move it to the other side. All right? So your assignment for today is to just finish up the worksheet I posted yesterday. Tomorrow's video, I'm going to go over the worksheet, and then we're going to take a look. We'll start taking a look at what's called multi-step equations, which is more than 2 steps. But if you remember from the beginning of the year, I called it house cleaning. So we're going to look at house cleaning steps, where we have some stuff that we have to organize first, and then we have a 2-step equation. So it's still going to be 2-step equations. It's just before we do our 2-step equations, we have to do some housekeeping, if you guys remember how we did that beginning of the year. All right, guys, so that's it. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Don't forget, you can email me if you have any questions or any concerns. Next week is the last week, so anything that is due, I need to get that in by, say, next Wednesday so I can get grades posted. Okay? Have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow.